So, in the last episode, we left off in the middle of building the fuel cell cage. And I said, hey, we're going to catch up and finish this off in the next episode. Well, I'm a liar. Because you see, I did that thing that I always do, which is just work on my car and not record anything. So the back of the car, as you can see, is all back on. We have our radium cell all mounted up in there, all wired in. Fuel lines are all routed. We did extend the filler neck hose and painted it black to match, so that's all good to go. We had to extend this coolant line here to reach also. So you can see down there, we kind of replaced that center section. It just wasn't long enough before. It was like about an inch too short, and it was pulling the hose a little bit too much. So it would have fit, like I had it up in there and it fit fine, but there was a part of the hose that was kind of sitting along the fuel cell, so I was just like, I'm just gonna extend that and make it nicer. Oh, you also might remember that a couple videos ago, I was talking about how I wasn't really enjoying my AHP Alpha TIG and how it just wasn't really that nice for aluminum. Coincidentally, it took a shit. So yeah, it let out some mystery smoke and stopped working. So I did the logical thing and bought an Everlast. Just like I said I was gonna do. I was talking about how I wanted to upgrade to an Everlast welder, and I picked up an Everlast 210. And dude, this thing is fucking awesome. It's way better than that. Like, let me find an example of something I welded with aluminum on my AHP. So like these welds here, these were done with the AHP. So like these welds here were done with the AHP. I mean, it was clean aluminum when I welded it. It just had really weird start on it. It kind of like spit all over the place when it started. It was always like it felt like I was welding dirty. No matter how clean the material was, it felt like it was welding dirty. Now this metal here, this was dirty. This was a used radiator. And it came out relatively nice. Now this top piece was clean, but like the actual radiator was dirty as fuck. Yeah, look, oh yeah, you can't see how dirty it is in there. You can see a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty dirty. But this thing welds really nice, and I'm happy I made the switch to this. I wish I would have done it sooner because it is just that much better. Anyways, like I was saying, we got the fuel cell and all that done. So right now we have it set up with staged pumps. So when I hit the ignition, you'll hear the lift pump and pump 1 kick on. Is that my water pump running? Oh yeah, water pump runs on ignition. So yeah, lift pump, pump 1 comes on for ignition, and then at, I think it is over 3,000 RPM and 4 pounds of boost, pump 2 kicks in. And then if it sees a pressure delta drop below 50 psi, pump 3 kicks in. Or I have all 3 pumps hooked up on this switch right here. I should say all 4 pumps. You can see 66 psi fuel pressure, where 52 is with just 1 feed pump. So pumps are working. It's all wired in, it's all plumbed. I did have enough circuits on the PDM there, so we were able to just add that right into the PDM and then reflash the PDM to stage everything and control it. So we're all good on fuel. Starts up, runs great. I do need to re-bleed this clutch still. It's got like a little bit of dead pedal in it. I didn't get all the air out. It's fucking annoying! Oh, another thing I did And we got a passenger seat. Bolted in. So we're going to be doing ride-alongs in 2021. We built some nice floor brackets down there, welded in place, mounted the seat up. It's a little bit overkill. You know, a head bolstered carbon fiber OMP racing seat is a bit overkill for a passenger seat, but it's all I had. It's all I had laying around, so I put that in there. You get the comfort and the safety. So nice little passenger seat. I got to get harnesses for it. And then you'll also see I built a little floor panel closeout for you to put your feet in. Now that paint, I'm pretty sure, is still wet because I'm an idiot and used the wrong kind of paint. Let's see. It's a little tacky still. Oh no, it wipes right off. It's still wet. Still wet. My dumbass used undercoating to paint that because I thought it would be durable, but I don't know if this undercoat paint ever fully cures or if it's always going to be a little rubbery and tacky. So I might need to strip that down and hit it with like truck bed liner paint. I just wanted something that was a little textile, a little grippy. Nice place to put your feet, but should get the job done. And then you will see that I have these massive studs still sticking out of here. These long bolts. I gotta get some shorter panhead bolts for it to really make it nice. But basically just welded a bracket onto the intercooler with some aluminum threaded nuts so I could just bolt this right on there. A little cut out for those hose lines to run through. But it should be plenty secure enough for you to just like use a little footrest. I sat in there before I painted it and it's actually pretty comfortable. I do got to get some cushions for the bottom of this seat though, because I don't have the cushions in it. Back of the car is all back together too, so the firewall is all back in, trimmed up. Ice box is remounted. Windows and all that are back in. Wiring's all ran. The only thing I do need to still add to it is I have to get a proper fuel gauge for it, because the fuel gauge that I have in there right now is not the right ohm reading. So I got to get the correct fuel level gauge in there. And then I need to wire power to it because I forgot to add a power for the gauge. So I'm going to have to kind of feed a wire up for that, but that's not really that big of a deal. Put some fresh rubber on the back there. Took those wheels and tires off from the burnouts and just mounted up some fresh boys. Just kind of getting things ready to go. I still need to swap out front tires because I want to put a really grippy tire on the front of this for this year also. The Kendos work great as burners, but they are just not grippy enough to run in the front of this car with the amount of grip level we have in it in the rear, plus the weight. So it definitely has some understeer issues with the Kendas, so we're going to have to upgrade to a better, grippier tire in the front. Where'd I put the light? Where did I put my light at? I just had it in my hand and I set it down, but I don't remember where I set it down. Is it in the car? It's not in the car. It's right there in the car. But yeah, everything in here turned out really nice. Cage mounts really nice and easy. All the coolant lines rerouted like I said. No coolant leaks. No fuel leaks. Everything's back together. I did have to run a new feed and return line for it, but luckily I was able to reuse the hose ends that came off of it, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Went back together pretty smooth. Runs. Like I said, now I just got to bleed the clutch and we should be good to go. So I guess this is just kind of like a little update video. But yeah, anyways, that's going to be it for this one. So, you know, we got the car done, back together, all running, driving. I actually went ahead, turned it around and got it back facing this way so I can do a little bit more work to it. I should have recorded the disaster that it was turning this around in the street. Yeah. Got it stuck in the middle of the street in the snow and had to use my truck to pull it out. And I got it stuck in my neighbor's driveway, then used my truck to pull it back out in the street, and then got it stuck in the street again and used to pull it forward. Then I got stuck, and I pulled it in the driveway, and then I got stuck, and then I pulled it further in the driveway, and then drove it into the garage. So, never recording the eventful stuff. Story of my life. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one. So, like the video if you liked it. Just a little update. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Follow the build along. We're going to get more work going on this thing. And until the next one, I'll catch you guys later.